Hey, Survivor Sis. Happy Wednesday. What is going on? I hope all is well with you. I know that I normally try to do some kind of, fitness encouragement and then, end it with prayer or, a Bible verse or something like that. But sometimes we just need to sit down and talk as sisters. You know what I mean? So really we need to, I need to just start coming on and just having a few conversations of just sisterhood and just see how you're doing. Check in, it's kind of like one of those check-ins. So maybe like a Wisdom Wednesday, let's check in weekly just to say hi, leave some comments in the chat and, let's just kind of do better. That's what I want to say. Let's do better because at the end of the day, we all we got. We all we got. We need someone out there supporting us, someone out there advocating for us, someone out there praying for us, okay? So that's why I'm here as your survivor sister. So in case I've never said my name is Shalonda, and I am the creator of Survivor Fit. I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I transitioned from that environment into my new beginning, scared, confused, not knowing what to do. Why am I doing this type of situation? But I knew that a future was waiting on me. My future was waiting on me. And of course, my daughter, I only have one daughter. I wanted to see her future better. I wanted her to see a better future, a better me, so that I could take care of her the way that I'm supposed to take care of her in a healthy environment. So that's the reason why I created Survivor Fit, because first of all, I knew that I needed to start working out after I had her, 24 years ago. But I knew I needed to work out to just stay in shape. And so I decided that getting your mind off of something that's, bothering you or something like that, a lot of people go and volunteer. That's wonderful. Fitness was one thing that kept me focused on my future. It kept me moving forward because I knew that there was something that I needed to do. I had to get out of my rut. I had to get out of my complaining. I just had to get out of that slump I was in, and fitness helped me. So I joined the gym, and this was many, many years ago, and I fell off. Then I joined the gym again, and now I'm here. So I'm kind of being more consistent with my fitness. I'm not going all in like I should, because there are some goals that I want to achieve in this mission. And then the reason why I started this is my why. I wanted to connect with other women who either are still in their abusive environment or have decided to leave and now want an outlet and a support system with other sisters that they can lean and trust in and talk to about their situation, having a safe space. So that's the reason why Survivor Fit was created, because of fitness, mentally, physically, and of course, we want to, continue to nourish our souls with the Word of God and spiritually. So I hope that you all will join me on this journey, because it is important that your new beginning starts off fresh, starts off great. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that, and we understand. There's grace, there's mercy from God, there's grace from the sisterhood that we're in, and we just want to support each other. So come on, sis, come with me, all right? But there are 5 things that I really wanted to touch on, and so I have them written down here that I just really, I want you to ask yourself. 5 things I want you to ask yourself when you're in an abusive environment. So here we go. I don't have everything memorized. So, as I continue to talk, I would love to be a public speaker. I would love to share this information and be the voice of the voiceless. Of course, when I say that, I mean the women that don't want to share their story, and that's okay. That is your story. When you are ready to tell your story, just like I'm ready to tell my story, that's when that will happen. There is no pressure here. So when you are ready to tell your story, sis, it will happen. But just in case somebody tunes into this channel and says, what is that? I will give you the definition of domestic violence. A pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that is used by one person to gain or maintain power and control over another person through fear and intimidation, often including the threat or use of violence. So that is basically what domestic violence is. And there are things that you have to ask yourself when you're in that environment. What am I seeing? So like, it starts off amazing. It starts off beautiful. You're going on trips, you're meeting family, you're having kids, you're purchasing homes, you're getting into a new apartment, and things are just great. But then just one day you wake up and your life is never the same. And it may not happen every day. The abuse may not happen every day, mentally, physically, financially, or, where your psychological mind, things are just like, okay, why is this happening? The narcissism, which a word that I wasn't even, narcissism, what is that? When I was going through mine, I did not know that all of that was attached to the things that I was going through, girl. So you go through life, you get more educated, you start looking at things, you start looking up stuff, you start seeing things on social media, and you're like, wow, that's exactly what I went through. Or you start going to counseling, like that's what I did. So that was like my social media at the time, counseling, sitting in a room with other women and them sharing their story. That was my counseling. That was like how some people are connecting with social media today. And this was, even though social media was still, a thing, I just wasn't connecting with social media because I didn't know of any groups or anything like that where people were supporting each other. Other than you go into a shelter, I did not know. So I didn't look up anything at that point. But when you are in a domestic violence situation, it's crucial to reflect, on key aspects to ensure your safety and well-being. So, like I said, you're going through life with your partner, your significant other, your husband, and like I said, all of a sudden things just snap, things just change, and you're like, where did this come from? And most of the time, it seems like almost 99.99999% of the time, you think that it's you. You think that you are the person that caused it. Like, what's wrong with me? That's that question that's always mostly asked. Like, what's wrong with me? What did I do? And these are the questions I feel that you ought to ask yourself. Am I safe right now? Assess your immediate environment and whether you're in physical danger. Am I safe right now? And you can write these things down if you want to. And you can answer that. You can answer your own question. Am I safe right now? So ask yourself these 5 questions. Am I safe right now? What are the patterns of abuse? Because if it's coming out of nowhere, that's not a pattern. That's not a pattern. It's coming out of nowhere, so you don't know. But you wake up on a Tuesday, it happens. You get through the week, things are still kind of, we're back to kind of normal. And then next Wednesday, something happens. And you're like, where, identify people in your life who can support you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm jumping. Like, reflect on behaviors of your partner. That's where we are. What are the patterns of what you are experiencing? What are the patterns? What's happening now? So begin to literally write those things down, because that's so important for you to remember. Like, why is this happening? And then, of course, keep it somewhere safe. Put it in your phone or something like that, somewhere in the notes section or something. Begin to figure out the pattern. Number 3, do you have a support network? And sometimes when you're in this situation and you've gone 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, time passes by so fast, sis. Time passes by so fast, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's 6 months. Oh my gosh, it's been almost a year. I've been in this 2 years. I've been in this 3 years, 6 months. And you're like, I'm still in this. But guess what? We've gained all this stuff together. We've gained all of this money together. So where do I go now? 15 years in, 27 years in, 45 years in. And you're like, I've gained all this stuff with him. Where am I going now? So having that support network, whether it is, getting in a shelter, of course, that's like sometimes people's last option, and I get it. Sometimes coworkers, family, of course, your sister, your cousins, even a male can sometimes be, a male sibling. It could be a cousin. It could be just somebody you trust. And sometimes, we've talked to the people, we've asked them to listen to us. And if we are in the cycle of the situation, sometimes they're worn out. Sometimes they're like, but just find your people. It's so important to find your people, girl, because we've got to have a support network. You cannot do it on your own. And if you were, like most of us, thinking that we can do this on our own, it's not. It's not. You can do it, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be harder. You can do it, but I'm just telling you right now, and I know you don't know me from Adam, but just trust what I'm saying. Like, just research, think about it, and just talk to people. Talk to the people who are your people that you can share this with, Number 4, what are my options for leaving? Honey, number 4, number 4 will have you like, what? Leave? Like, and this is a question that, is not the beginning of the process of the questions that you need to ask. That's why it's down here, number 4, but you still have to think of your future. If your future is waiting on you, it's time to think about it. Think about possible ways you could leave the situation if needed. This could involve preparing a safety plan, such as where to go, how to get there, and what essentials to bring, because your future is waiting on you. And am I ready to seek help? Are you ready to seek help? Because sometimes people have conversations with, their friends, their family, coworkers, or whatever, and they talk about it, but they're not getting help, which is something that has to be a decision that you are going to have to make. And trust me, when I mean decision, I mean you've got to have courage. Sometimes people don't think that courage plays a part in the decision making, but it really does take courage. And that's what I had to muster up. I had to gain courage to do what I did not want to do. Ripping, separating your family, begin the process of, hey, where the kids are going to be, like if he still has an opportunity to have parental rights. And honey, I know you got to have, but you got to think about those things in the process of you breaking free. But one thing you really need to make sure that you consider is your future. I'm sorry about that buzzing in the back. That's how these text messages, well, it's just notifications. That's all it is. It's just notifications mainly. But that's so important. Are you going to seek help? Consider whether you're ready to reach out for professional assistance, such as therapy, legal aid, or contacting a shelter. So that's what I got today, sis. 5 things you need to ask yourself. It is time. We're going to continue to come on here and, do some workouts that you can do. And, you'll see what I'm doing. And then we're going to pray together. We're just going to support one another because we need that support system. Because what happens after you break free? What happens after? Who's thinking about you then? Who's thinking about your future? Who's thinking about the things that you have to consider once you're out, either in a shelter, a hotel room, or something like that? Where are you going to get your support from? Who are the people that you can trust? Because it takes a woman almost 9 times to leave permanently. It takes a woman 5 times. Almost 9 times. I'm thinking about the questions you need to ask yourself. It takes a woman almost 9 times to say, I'm gone for good. I'm out of here. I can't do this no more. Because you got to think about the rebuilding. The rebuilding process is like overwhelming. It's way over here. Like, I don't want to do all that because I cannot see myself without him. I can't see myself trying to raise these kids by myself. It is so much to consider. But there's also your life that we want you to consider because it's so important. Your life is so important. And we love you, sis. We are your sisters. We are your survivor sisters. We are your wounded warrior sisters. We are your warrior sisters. We are here to support you. So leave some comments in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling about this, the 5 things that you need to ask yourself, the things that you need to consider. Even if someone else has some more information they want to add below, do it. This is a conversation that we need to have. It's time. It's just time. Do you see how fast time is moving? It is almost 2025. There's so much going on. It's, election year, and we're not going to get into that. But there's so much to consider during this season. And now it's your new season. Let's get this season started off where you have a support system. Message me, send me an email. I'll put that in the description. Send me an email. I'll put it in the description so you can email me. And we'll go from there, girl. Once again, girl, I love you. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for our new future together as sisters. We're going to work out. We're going to eat clean. We're going to get our minds right, our bodies right, and we're going to pray, and we're going to have a better future together as sisters. We are family, okay? Okay, girl, you can't get rid of me. You cannot get rid of me. I am going to be here. So I love you, girl. Have a blessed day, and have a blessed day in the Lord, and I will see you on the next video, okay? Love you, girl.